Hello and welcome everyone to this video, and today we are going to fly a mock IFR Checkride with my friend Leo, who lives in South Cal, close to San Diego. He's actually based out of Montgomery. That's Kilo Mike Yankee Foxtrot. So he's been flying out of that airport in real life, and his IFR Checkride is coming up actually in about, I think, a week or two, and we wanted to practice this, and we were going to do this flight and explain in a shared cockpit on PilotEdge with live ETC, just exactly mimicking real world procedures. So today I'm going to ask him, we're going to instruct him to take off VFR from Montgomery, going west, avoiding the class Bravo airspace for San Diego, to Mount Soledad. We're going to proceed north, and then after that we're going to do some aerial exercises somewhere along the coast between Montgomery and Palomar. That's Charlie Romeo, Quebec. Like 45-degree banks, around left, 360 around left. I'm going to do some unusual attitudes, and then I'm going to fill some instruments to see how he's going to handle the aircraft. And then I'm going to ask him to pick up an IFR clearance from South Cal Approach to Palomar. And I'm going to ask him first to fly, to request vectors for the ILS runway 24 into Palomar. And then after that, I'm going to ask him to fly the published missed into the hold, and then ask for the RNAV Zulu runway 24 into Palomar from ocean side. And then after that, I'm going to ask him to go missed as published, and then I'm going to ask him to divert to Ramona and fly the VOR Alpha approach into Ramona, which is a circling approach. And then I'm going to ask him to go missed, and then I'm going to after that, ask him to cancel IFR and fly VFR back to Montgomery. So yes, this is going to be exciting. We're going to try to mimic exactly world procedures, flying everything, and I will be able to fill instruments, instruct him what to do in the shared cockpit and explain. And at the same time, we're going to have live ETC with PilotEdge in order to get him ready for his check ride. So let's go ahead and do this and see you in the cockpit. I'd like to say welcome everyone, and today we are at Montgomery Airport. That is Mike Yankee Foxtrot, and I'm here with Leo. Leo actually lives and flies in real life out of Montgomery, and his check ride, IR check ride, is coming up in about a week, and we're going to do a mock check ride right now on PilotEdge in Cessna 172 with the G1000. And Leo, say hi.
Hey everyone, and thanks for having me.
All right, very good. Go ahead now and grab the ADA so we know which runways in use, and we can call in for taxi with information Zulu.
All right.
Montgomery.
Diego Montgomery Field, 8 information Lima, 1753 Zulu. Wind variable at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 19 Dew point 11. Altimeter 29905. Arriving and departing runways 28 right, 28 left. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions.
I got ground tuned in. We know that 28 right and 28 left is primarily being used. The altimeter already works out for us, so that's good.
Okay.
And we have Zulu. I'll bug 35. We'll depart VFR, and then we'll start doing our thing. Sound good?
Sounds good. So I'm acting as the DPE on this mock check ride with Leo on PilotEdge. And yes, we're going to ask VFR departure to the west, 3,500, that's correct, in order to avoid San Diego class Bravo. And what I want you to do is take off runway heading pretty much to Mount Soledad at 3,500, then turn right along the coast up north until I'll let you know when we're going to start some aerial exercises before picking up IFR to Palomar in the air, and we'll take it from there.
Montgomery ground, good morning, Archer, or Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha at Coast Flight with information Zulu, request taxi westbound.
404 Charlie Alpha, Montgomery ground, runway 28 right, taxi via Hotel Alpha.
28 right, taxi via Hotel Alpha, 404 Charlie Alpha.
Very good, and Leo, Tell us a little bit about your flight training out of Montgomery.
Yeah, so Montgomery, I'm at Coast Flight Academy, Part 141, accelerated training course. I got my private pilot actually in Pennsylvania in a Part 61 school, Brandywine, and decided to move out here and continue my flight training. Usually we're blessed with good weather out here, so it's been pretty smooth so far. And I'm doing some commercial time billing now while I wait for this Checkride, which I'm very excited for. I can't wait to get this rating. It's a big one, and I recommend it to anyone who is becoming a pilot or plans to do the airlines, whatnot. Instrument rating definitely gives you a lot of freedom.
Very good. Thank you, Leo. And you do fly the G1000 in real life, so that's good. And
Yes.
very familiar with the area and the Class Bravo of San Diego. Leo and I actually have met online on PilotEdge on the Discord channel. And we did a few flies together. And we share interesting IFR knowledge between Europe and the US. I've been on PilotEdge now for over a year myself, and I learned all the pretty much the VFR and IFR procedures from PilotEdge, which I highly recommend for online simming. All right, very good. And here we go. We are at the 28 right holding point.
Montgomery Tower, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha holding short, 28 right, ready for departure to the west.
404 Charlie Alpha Montgomery Tower, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff on course to the west.
28 right, clear for takeoff on course to the west, 404 Charlie Alpha.
All right, man. Looks like your heading bug is centered and you're good to go. Takeoff. Hand on the throttle, obviously, in case we need to reject.
Yes,
Very
gauges
cool.
are green. Timer's going. Airspeed's already alive. We can start rotating already in this nice little Cessna. We'll climb out about 74.
Very good. And for people who are watching right now, as you can see here, that we are pretty much under the San Diego Class Bravo airspace. And there's a little, I marked it here on ForeFlight in red. The little gap between here, the Bravo on the red marked area on my ForeFlight, goes from 1800, 3200, and from 6800, 10,000. So if we fly 3,500, we can go in between these two shelves and going north until we clear that part of the Bravo for people who are watching. And that little red circle I have right here is Mount Soledad. And that's when we're pretty much going to make the turn along the coast going north.
Yep. And we can see Mount Soledad just about now on our 11, 12 o'clock. We like to fly.
There it is.
To fly right direct to it there. The shelf we are under right now starts at 4,800. So
exactly.
I'm confident that we won't get up there that quickly. Once we get to Soledad, we'll proceed on course over the coast and head above that next shelf, 1,800 to 3,200, cruising at 3,500. If you ever find yourself kind of just waiting around instrument flying, either you're really ahead of the plane or you're doing something wrong.
Yes, we're going to do pretty much everything like what you would do in real life. The only thing we're going to do is just we're going to report the information Zulu to PilotEdge. And PilotEdge actually instructs the users that if we can use our own custom weather. Let's say, for example, I need to practice IFR, precision approaches, whatever. I can set that in my own sim. And for them to know that we're using custom weather, not using live weather, we just need to inform them that we have information Zulu for the ATIS. And that's like sort of like a secret code thingy that we are using our own custom weather. And despite that, we're going to actually grab the ATIS, follow real life procedures. And the reason why we're going to use information Zulu is because I am going to have control over the weather to simulate as if Leo is like putting on the hood, for example, and I'm next to him. So I can set IMC conditions, and he can't see anything, and he's going to have to fly using the instruments. And as if he's in the aircraft, and he just put the foggles or put the hood on to fly only on the instruments. Okay, very good.
Niner 4. Arriving and departing runway 24. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information November. Carlsbad McClellan Palomar Airport. 8 is information November. 1753 Zulu. Wind
So we know they're
250
using
at
06
5.
as their runway.
Visibility
Runway
10.
6.
Sky condition clear.
We've
Temperature
got the tower
18.
frequency on
Dew
standby.
point 11.
We can put that as
Altimeter.
active now.
Okay.
And now whenever
We're 76 Alpha Lima towards Tower. You said you're coming from the northeast.
We are 4.
you can stop monitoring that for now. But yeah, so now we have the ATIS. We'll report Zulu, of course, whenever we get and expect our clearance. We'll get squawk code and such. And yeah, we've got tower, standby, air-to-air frequency where I'd be making my calls, you know, our color of the plane, tail number, and our altitude and what direction we're flying. And yeah.
All right, so let's start off now with do a 360 to the left at 45-degree bank.
360 to the left at 45-degree bank. So on a heading of 300, we'll set up the plane. We already have the heading bugged. We know that 45 degrees is that second to last hash mark there. So we'll aim for that. Make sure our pitch is adjusted for that horizontal lift component, and we'll get it going. A little on our pitch, as we said.
More 45. More bank, more bank. Here we go.
We'll start to slowly level that turn off here.
Okay, that was good. All right, 45 to the right, 360.
And 45 to the right, adjust our throttle setting again. Get a little right rudder in. A little more bank.
Okay, that was good.
And readjust our plane's configurations for cruise.
All right, my
Okay.
controls.
Your controls?
All right, and I want you to close your eyes, and then when I tell you to open your eyes, and we need you to click immediately on Smart Copilot Request Controls,
Yes.
and then you're gonna recover, okay?
Okay, so I have my mouse ready on the request, and
Okay.
my eyes are closed. I'm ready.
Now go ahead, close your eyes.
Close my eyes.
Okay, go ahead. Recover.
So immediately put in throttle. I know I'm near a stall setting and a high pitch attitude, level wings, and pitch at the same time.
Very good.
And looks like my trim got readjusted too. So
Okay,
let me
bring
fix
us back
that
down
up.
to 3,500.
Okay.
And turn left heading 270.
Left 270, 3005.
Okay, center the heading bug. Always make it a habit. Very good. Okay, I'm going to take my controls again. I'm gonna,
Your
I got it.
controls.
Okay. And then close your eyes.
Close my eyes.
Okay, go ahead, recover. Take controls.
Requesting. Power
Alert,
idle immediately.
terrain
Level
ahead.
wings. And pull up on the yoke slowly.
Very good. Okay, bring us back to 3,500, heading 270.
3005, 270. Alright, so my attitude indicator has failed. I'm going to immediately transition to my standby attitude indicator. I still have my altimeter and my airspeed, but I've also lost my heading as well. So I'm going to use that map compass and that attitude indicator.
Very good, sir. All right, in that case, I would like you turn right heading 180.
Turn right, heading 180.
And
Now,
what
I
are you
know we
gonna?
want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
I know we want to overshoot on a southerly heading on these map compass errors.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to go like 190. Scan and keeping my scan up. Altimeter looks good and a slight descent, so we can arrest that. Keep a standard rate turn. There's my northerly heading. Attitude indicator is good. There's my southeasterly heading. There's south. Now we want to overshoot it. So we'll call it 190. And that should give us about a southerly heading of 180.
Okay, very good. Now turn left heading 360.
Left heading 360. Watch my altitude. I'm going to start that turn to the left, standard rate. Looking at my vertical speed indicator, my altimeter, my attitude, and of course the map compass, keeping my scan up. I want to undershoot on a northerly heading for that UNO's map compass errors.
Very good. Undershoot north, overshoot south. Good scanning with the secondary instruments. Pretty good. Nice. Okay, did you get the instruments back?
Instruments are back.
Very good. Center the heading bug.
Center that.
All right, go ahead now. Look up the South Cal approach frequency that you need to call and pick up IFR clearance to Palomar.
SoCal approach, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha, 7 miles to the west southwest of Oceanside. Request IFR Pavo clearance to Palomar.
404 Charlie Alpha, SoCal approach, squawk 5451, and maintain VFR for now.
Squawk 5451, maintain VFR 404 Charlie Alpha. Alright, so we'll get our squawk code in now so that they can see us. 5451. Great.
4 Charlie Alpha, radar contact 10 miles west of Palomar Airport, and change my frequency 119.6.
And we'll switch over to 119.6, 404 Charlie Alpha. SoCal approach, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha, level 3,500 westbound.
404 Charlie Alpha, SoCal approach, you're clear to Palomar Airport via turn right, heading 080, radar vectors direct, and maintain 5,000.
Clear to the Palomar Airport via right turn 080 and direct. Climb maintained 5,000, 404 Charlie Alpha.
And November 4 Charlie Alpha, advise when you have Oscar and your approach request there.
We'll advise when we have Oscar and our approach request, and we actually have Zulu. Will be custom weather here. We do have the weather at Palomar, 404 Charlie Alpha.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger, and just let me know about the approach request.
We'll let you know, 404 Charlie Alpha.
All right, so 005,000, and go ahead now, simulate that you're grabbing the ATIS.
Simulate grabbing the ATIS.
On COM 2.
I'm going to have to reset that. 132, that's Ramona. Let's just make sure my heading is set here.
Yeah, center the headbug, very good, 080. Continue climbing.
And continue the climb, and we'll get this ATIS in right now.
4 Charlie Alpha, turn 10 degrees left.
10 degrees left, 404 Charlie Alpha. So we got 070 now. Continue that climb, we have 300 feet.
All right.
ATIS is on 120.15.
Exactly, and once you get the ATIS, call him, tell him you have Wink Wink Zulu and request Victors for ILS 24. And tell him we intend to go missed as published.
Okay. I'm going to program this very quickly. If we are coming from, let's see, if we're coming from the west, we're going to want approach, call it Julian.
No, what did you pick for? Just pick Victors. Victors to final. From, just activate Victors to final.
We don't want to do that though, because then we lose the fixes beforehand, no?
No, it's okay. Just activate Victors to final, call them and request Victors for the approach.
20 Alpha, turn right heading 360, say approach request.
Okay, tell them you want Victors for ILS 24.
Cal approach, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha, we'd like the vectors for the ILS 24 approach and a Palomar. We have Zulu.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger. 2620 Alpha, turn right heading 360, say approach request.
So 2620
Alpha, right heading 360, request ILS, vectors for the ILS, runway 20 right, full stop.
We can get Palomar Tower ready on 1186. And we'll start briefing this approach in a moment.
Okay. Also inform me you're gonna go. You intend to go missed as published. When he gives you the next heading.
Okay. All right, 5,000 heading 070 we have set. We are identifying the ILS, which is on 108.7. That's confirmed. Approach course is 245. Since we're getting vectors, we can switch over to the localizer. It was spazzing out for a second, but glad it fixed itself. We've got that tuned in there. We've got 5,000 feet of runway just about. And let's see here. Looks like we're heading towards the initial approach fix now, Homley. Again, that approach course is 245. What's going to happen is at Escon intersection, we'll be at 3,300. And at Woonoob, we'll be at 2,600. Preceding Woonoob, we'll be over at Sidru, which is our final approach fix at 2,300, which is where we ultimately intercept that localizer and ILS glide slope. inbound to landing. So we've got minimums of 527, which we can set on our timer page. Which we'll set 530.
Very good,
That
very
is
good.
set.
Okay.
We got our flight plan ready here for reference. We could also get it.
All right, go
on
ahead,
this
brief
screen here.
the missed too, please, and check the waypoints in the flight plan against the missed approach.
Yep. So our missed approach, we will be climbing to 3,000 on a heading of 245, and on the Oceanside VORTAC 145 radial to the Oceanside VORTAC and hold. On that missed, let's see what we would do here. A moment. And let's check for our missed approach here. Yeah, we have an Oceanside hold tuned in there. That looks good on the flight plan. Missed approach is present.
Okay. I think you might want to tune in the Oceanside VR frequency.
We'll get it on number 2 here. I do have it on 1, but I want to use that for my localizer.
Makes sense.
115.3. Tuned in. We've got that, and we can put that on our Vero 2.
Very good.
Get our DME for it. So again, that missed approach, we're climbing to 3,000 on a heading of 245, and on the Oceanside VORTAC 145 radial, intercept that radial to the Oceanside VORTAC and hold.
Okay. Do you see any information about the holding on the chart?
I do not. I'm looking for that now.
There isn't any, so you're gonna have to get specific instructions from ATC.
Yes, that would make sense. They'll let us know what kind of hold. Also, our GPS will be handy with that on the suspend mode.
Very good. And since right now you're being vectored, right? You're not on an interception heading or anything. You can even change the CDI to nav2, set that radial, and come back again to nav1 for the missed.
That is true. That is true. So that's another good way to get ahead. That radial will be 145. Set now.
Well, 145 inbound.
Yes.
150, 180, 330, 325. So 3252. Very good. Or it doesn't matter. You can fly it from the front if you want to. Okay, very good. Yeah. And you are now on a 070 heading, maintaining 5,000. Good job. And you might want to go back again to nav1 maybe?
Yes.
Super.
For Charlie Alpha, just going to maintain 4,000.
Send maintain 4,000 for Charlie Alpha. Okay, so I'm turning off autopilot because that wasn't working for a second. I'll get that fixed once I get to my altitude here. But as I said, we want to execute those ATC commands right away. So, an approach 404 Charlie Alpha would like the published missed at Palomar.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger.
Okay, set 4,000 on the altitude tape, please. As your target altitude. Very good. And again, I want you to activate the autopilot. Very good. Okay, our pitch is fine. Now pick vertical speed. Press vertical speed and make it like only like 400 feet. Or yeah, nose up a little. Press nose up. Again, the autopilot is not active. Yeah, here we go.
Just leave it
like this. Yeah. Okay, let it do its thing. And going back to my question, see anything peculiar on that plate?
Autopilot coupled, approach not applicable below 960.
4 Charlie Alpha, turn right, heading 100.
Right, 100, 4 Charlie Alpha.
Exactly. Autopilot coupled approach is not applicable below 960. Okay. And the reason is, I believe, is that there might be some interference with the glide slope signal.
Could be.
Okay. I will tell you when, keep using the autopilot, and I will tell you when to disconnect it and hand fly, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Four 4 Charlie Alpha, 4 miles from SCON. Turn right, heading 215, maintain 3,600 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS, runway 24 approach.
215 down to 3,500 still established on the localizer. Cleared ILS approach 404 Charlie Alpha.
Call him back, say correction 3,600 until established.
And correction 3,600 until established 404 Charlie Alpha. Wait for that localizer to start coming in.
We're 2620 Alpha, 8 miles, correction 7 miles from Lemon, turn right heading 170. Maintain 3,000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS, runway 20 right approach.
Now we are intercepting, so we can start our descent to 2,600.
Right heading 170, maintain 3,000 until established, cleared for the ILS 20 right approach. 2620 Alpha.
We're 48427, do you need any assistance? Look like you're descending and not doing a great job of staying on the departure.
4270, we seem to increase vertical speed and we stalled a bit. It caused our aircraft to be out of control, but we're working on fixing the issue right now. So apologies for the technical difficulties.
427, roger. If you can't cross habit above 6,000 feet, I'm probably going to need to start vectoring you for your climb.
Okay, so we can pitch for
427, roger. Still working on it.
Let's get to that 90 knots as well. We have intercepted that localizer.
SoCal approach, Skyhawk 767 Charlie, I'm at 2,000. I'd like to request ILS runway 29 right, Torrance.
We are 1.7 miles from Wunub. After Wunub, we'll begin a descent again to 2,300. I wish I would have
767 Charlie, missed SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 3,000. Turn right heading 200.
And have it on approach mode. But
climb maintain 3,000 right, 200, 7 Charlie.
Okay,
now remember,
center the head of Baglio.
Palomar Tower 118.6.
Tower 118.6, 404 Charlie Alpha.
Okay, 118.6.
Tango Camry ground runway 26, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha.
That's Foxtrot Alpha to 26, 55 Delta Tango.
Palomar Tower, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha, ILS 24 approach. Palomar.
404 Charlie Alpha, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land.
Runway 24, clear to land. We'll be flying the published missed, 404 Charlie Alpha.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger, advise when you're going missed.
We'll advise when going missed, 404 Charlie Alpha. Okay, we can follow our glide slope now, which just came up.
Yep.
Sidra, our final approach fix is coming up as well, so we can hit our flaps.
Burbank Clearance, Cessna 739, Whiskey Fox.
739 Whiskey Fox, Burbank Clearance delivery.
Yeah, I'd like to pick up my IFR Clearance to John Wayne, 739 Whiskey Fox.
We are a little below our glide slope and a little to the left of our localizer, so we can center that now.
Destination ATIS is 126.9.
Now we can follow that glide slope down to our minimums. We are a half mile to our final approach fix.
739 Whiskey Fox, go to the John Wayne Airport.
We have our
Actually,
approach
just want to
heading
make sure you
bugs,
did file Burbank to John Wayne, correct? That's what you want to go to.
Burbank to John Wayne.
739 Whiskey Foxtrot, Burbank, West Oak,
We're
to the
about
John Wayne
5.5 miles to
the
our
Elmo
missed approach
Niner
point. We will
departure
report missed.
to Elmo, Victor
Intercept that
186.
localizer.
All right, do me a favor. Once you get
Bravo,
established on the
Alpha,
glide slope,
Yankee,
always don't
Juliet,
forget to set
Yankee.
the missed approach altitude.
Victor
Yes, I've been
363,
meaning to do that, but I'm just trying to get
Papa,
these needles
Oscar, X-ray, Kilo, Uniform.
Missed approach altitude
Victor
will
8,
be 3,000.
Sierra, Lima, India, direct. Climb via SID, except maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 134.2, squawk 5521.
1,500 from our minimums, 4.5 miles to our missed approach point. We'll be climbing straight ahead on a heading of 245 to
Burbank Clearance,
3,000,
we have to leave.
then intercept that 145
Technical
Oceanside
difficulties.
radio.
Sorry.
4 miles to our missed approach point.
Roger.
Santa Maria Tower, Romeo Charlie, 531 Romeo Charlie, ready for takeoff, holding short at 12 and
531 Romeo Charlie, Santa Maria Tower, runway 12, clear for takeoff on course.
let for takeoff 12.
3 mile final runway 24.
1,000 from our missed approach, or minimums.
Camarillo Tower, Diamond, 55 Delta Tango, holding short, runway 26.
55 Delta Tango, Camarillo Tower, runway 26, clear for takeoff on course.
2.8 miles from our missed approach point.
On the ILS for runway 20 right.
2620 Alpha John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, cleared to land.
700 to our
Clear
minimums.
land, 2620 Alpha.
Let's get back on that localizer.
Five hundred.
500 feet to our minimums, or 600 feet to our minimums.
3 mile final runway 24.
Intercepting that localizer again. It's going to get real sensitive here. Small corrections early. 1.5 miles to our missed approach point. State of reverse command, so pitch for airspeed.
San Luis Tower 172 Papa Alpha is ready for departure, runway 11.
1 mile to our missed approach
Papa
point.
Alpha, San Luis Tower, runway 11,
We're 300 from our minimums, about 200 now.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 11 on course 172 Papa Alpha.
Henderson Tower, Cirrus 422 Sierra Romeo is holding
Alert.
short of
Terrain
17
ahead.
right, ready for
100
departure.
feet to minimums.
422 Sierra Romeo, Henderson Tower, runway 12 right, clear, Christian 17 right, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff 17 right, 422 Sierra Romeo.
There's minimums. We don't have the runway in sight. Let's start our mist. We'll let them know. Flaps up. Up ahead. Palomar Tower, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha, going mist. We'll hit
4
suspend
Charlie
mode.
Alpha, apply the published missed approach and contact departure 119.6.
Published mist and off to departure 19.6, 404 Charlie Alpha. Okay, 245 up to 3,000. We'll intercept that radial and we'll let them know what we're doing. Cal approach, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha, 1,200 climbing, missed approach, Palomar.
404 Charlie Alpha, SoCal departure, roger. When you're ready for your next approach, just let me know.
We'll let you know for the next approach, 404 Charlie Alpha. Nice job on the weather.
Well, yeah. I would call him back once you get established on the radio and request holding instructions at Oceanside.
Okay. And we could fly the VOR, but we could also fly on GPS now. We're on suspend mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll switch over to that. And I'll get my pen ready for the missed approach, or the holding instructions.
Right now, just call him and ask for holding instructions at Oceanside, and then while we're in the hold, I'll discuss with you what we're going to do next.
Okay. So
And
Cal approach, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha request holding instructions at Oceanside.
4 Charlie Alpha, clear to Oceanside, hold south on your present course, right turns, maintain 3000.
Hold south, present course, right turns 3000, and clear to Oceanside VOR 404 Charlie Alpha.
And November 4 Charlie Alpha, expect further clearance 2000, sorry, 2000 Zulu. Let me know if you'd like to leave earlier.
200 Zulu, and we'll let you know for the expect further clearance 404 Charlie Alpha.
20 Romeo, turn right heading 260, and give me a good rate of climb through 8,000 feet, please.
Right heading 260 and maximize rate of climb 4220 Romeo.
Okay, so we're going to hold south, so we can bug 180. Right turns. We can draw this out here.
1 second.
So,
He said hold on the present course. So that's your inbound. So what I would do right now is change to nav 2.
Maintain 14,000 4220
Center the needle. Why is it not centering?
let me just manually do it, see if
Yeah.
that works.
I think it got this from Microsoft NXI, remember?
Yeah.
It could change it.
17 Zulu, radar
That's it.
contact 15 miles to the, sorry, 10
Right
miles
turns,
west
so
of
that
Van Nuys.
other one will be minus 2 plus 2, 145
outside Bravo
south.
airspace at 5,500.
Yeah, I mean, this is your inbound already. So he gave you a very, I wanted something more complicated, and the guy just gave you a direct entry, and you are already on the inbound. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, this is going to be direct entry, so
Yeah.
pretty much
17
I
Charlie Zulu,
have
affirmative,
on
your radar
the
contact, Burbank
Vero
altimeter
2 nav 2 DME, we're
established on the
2.4
coastal
miles
route
away.
outside Bravo airspace.
Very good.
On
At
holds, we want to be at 90
5,500.
knots, so we can get to that now.
995, advise when established.
And we're holding at 3,000 right
coastal,
turns, so yeah,
radio,
this is pretty
17
self-explanatory.
Charlie Zulu. Outside of the Bravo.
So yeah, he did say, I did get mixed up there. He said hold south, I took it as 180, but then he did say present course inbound, so that's pretty much a southerly heading outbound on the inverse radial.
They got it.
Clear direct, Hayden, when able, 4220 Romeo.
We're 0.8 nautical miles away, so it's going to get sensitive again. That's okay. Now we want to get the timer ready. And we want to do our 6 T's, turn, twist, time, throttle, talk. Heading just about over the VOR now. Direct entry. We got the from flag.
There we go.
So we can right turn now, standard rate. Once that flag switches again, we will start our timer. Or when established, whichever is after or last. Now we've already twisted pretty much. We're going to fly that southerly heading that I bugged. So we're turning, we twisted, we're adjusting the throttle to 90 knots. Turn, twist, throttle, talk, and track. So we can let them know we're established on the hold, and then we can track our inbound and outbound.
You gonna let ATC know you're established on the hold? Is that what you said?
Yeah. He's probably going to expect us for that next clearance.
Well, the next clearance is 11 minutes from now. So by that time, you're going to do at least one lap. And I'm going to tell you now, while you're holding, okay, so continue doing the hold. Start setting up for RNAV Zulu approach into Palomar. And request the approach from Oceanside VOR. No, you picked RNAV 6. That's why. Okay, that's the mistake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do 24 Zulu. There we go.
And what's the minimum on that one?
Minimums for this is 931 for our performance.
Yeah, 0.3. Okay.
So we can hit activate here from Oceanside. Flight plan, we will request that in just a moment. Let me peep my timer. Perfect timing, my goodness.
Okay, very good. And once you establish on the inbound, call them and request that RNAV Zulu 24 from Oceanside.
From Oceanside.
He might ask you to climb or something first.
Yeah, but, most likely. Approach, Skylark 404 Charlie Alpha, request the RNAV 24 Zulu approach into Palomar with the intention to go missed from Oceanside.
.404 Charlie Alpha, climb maintain 5,000.
Climb maintain 5,000, 404 Charlie Alpha.
Up. Expect him to ask us to climb in the hold. Very good. Very good. This is actually a good time while you're climbing to 5,000 is to brief the approach and brief the missed, and to go through the flight plan in the FMS, compare those points with the chart.
Yes. So looks like
Braydale, correction, 8
Zawan
Alpha
would
Sierra,
be our next.
contact SoCal approach 128.1.
After Zawan, we've got
28168 Alpha Sierra.
Palsy.
November 48427, expect ILS runway 11 approach, information Kilo is current at San Luis.
And we're going to be climbing in the hold.
Expect ILS
Get this
runway 11.
Looks like we're going to do one more lap then.
Information Kilo is
and then hopefully it's direct the VOR.
Arrow 427.
SoCal approach, Diamond Twin 68 Alpha Sierra 4,100, climbing 5,500.
November 531 Romeo Charlie, Los Angeles Thunder Squawk 5370.
We have Wagov 3,200. And then Igivi.
68 Alpha Sierra, SoCal approach, John Wayne altimeter 295.
Check that on my screen on this side.
295, 68.
Igivi and then Jubum is our initial or final approach fix, and then over to our missed approach point. This is going to be an RNAV
November
approach.
48427, when able, clear direct Morro Bay VOR Mike, Quebec,
we'll have
Oscar.
our RNP going.
Clear direct Morro
Again,
Bay.
minimums for this will
Mike,
be
Echo,
931.
Oscar, Arrow 427.
Mike, Quebec, Oscar, Q.
Okay, and missed?
Mike, Quebec, Oscar.
Missed, we'll get that briefed in a second.
422
427.
Sierra Romeo, contact SoCal approach 134.6.
I am hand flying, so I gotta do these one at a time here.
Very good. Aviate, navigate, communicate. Very good.
422 Sierra Romeo.
All right.
404 Charlie Alpha, cleared to Palomar Airport via cross Oceanside at 5,000. Cleared RNAV Zulu, runway 24 approach.
Clear to the Palomar Airport, cross Oceanside at 5,000, RNAV 24 Zulu approach, 404 Charlie Alpha.
422 Sierra Romeo, Los Angeles Center, roger.
All right.
531 Romeo Charlie, contact SoCal, correction, contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
All right, go ahead now, change to the magenta, activate approach, magenta, and go direct to Oceanside. Activate direct to ocean. Yep, very good. And turn and go for it. Very good.
Zawan 5,000. After Zawan, we'll go Palchi 4,100. So let's intercept this inbound here. Maintain 5,000. We have tower on standby. We're flying the published mist again.
Very good.
We're 7 miles from Zawan. So let's intercept that radial, or that heading rather. Okay, Jubum's coming up, and it's coming now. We can get approach mode active and ready for that glide slope to come in. We can just follow the glide slope in now. Once I'm 2 miles from the final approach fix, I'll hit my flaps.
Santa Barbara Clearance, Cherokee 1411 Delta, information Papa, type P28S slant golf. Looking for IFR flight following San Luis Obispo, 4,500.
Alright, it's locked on the approach mode.
1411 Delta, Santa Barbara Clearance delivery on departure, fly runway heading, maintain VFR at or below 1,500. Departure frequency 120.55, squawk 1660.
Flaps 1 set.
Again, departure, runway heading, at or below 1,500. Departure 120.55, squawk 1660.
Now what we can do now since we're on autopilot is climb to 2,000 on the 240.
Cessna 730 Whiskey Tango, I'd like to pick up my IFR clearance to Hemet.
I'm going to bug that now. 245. We've intercepted that LPV.
733 Whiskey Tango, Palomar clearance delivery clear to the Hotel My Tango Airport on departure, flighting 250, header vectors oceanside, then is file, maintain 3,000, expect 6,010 minutes after departure, departure frequency 119.6, squawk 7137.
Now,
clear to Hemet Airport, runway heading 250 on departure, radar vectors to oceanside, then is filed, 3,000, expect 6,010 minutes, 119.6 for departure, and 7137 on squawk. 750 Whiskey Tango.
3 Whiskey Tango, read back correct.
Okay, what were you saying, Leo? I couldn't hear you from the.
Go back on the ramp near Charlie, ready to taxi for close traffic.
I'll say what I was saying in a second.
Marine Zulu, Quebec, Henderson ground runway 17 right, taxi via Alpha Hotel. 17 right via Alpha Hotel, 8 Zulu, Quebec.
Santa Barbara Tower, Cessna 739 Whiskey Fox at runway 15 left, Charlie, ready to depart.
All right, Leo.
Number 739 Whiskey Fox, Santa Barbara Tower, runway 15
Autopilot failure, continue manually.
Cleared for takeoff, Cessna 739 Whiskey
Continue
Fox.
manually. We're a little high on glide path. Small corrections. 2 miles to our missed approach.
500.
Palomar ground, Cessna 733 Whiskey Tango, he's parking with Oscar, taxi IFR.
We're 733 Whiskey Tango, Palomar ground, runway 24, taxi via Alpha.
24 via Alpha.
So we're at our minimums here, so we're going to go missed.
Henderson Tower, pits 8 Zulu, Quebec, holding short 17 right, ready for close traffic, Willie Lima. Ready to look Quebec, Henderson Tower, make a right traffic, runway 17 right, clear for takeoff, report the midfield downwind. 17 right, clear for takeoff, right traffic, and report midfield, 8 Zulu, Quebec. Whiskey Foxtrot, contact departure.
Was going missed.
9 Whiskey Foxtrot, contact departure.
Contact departure, Cessna 739 Whiskey Fox.
Who's calling this? Is it Fort Charlie Alpha?
Yeah, Fort Charlie Alpha is going missed, Palomar 24 approach.
Or Fort Charlie Alpha, published missed approach, departure 119.6.
Published missed, departure 119.6, 404 Charlie Alpha.
Cessna 739 Whiskey Fox, 1,600.
For 739, correction, 739 or Whiskey Foxtrot, Santa Barbara departure, radar contact, climb maintain 5,000.
Okay, we can hit
Climb and maintain 5,000, Cessna 739 Whiskey Fox.
That's not good. Something, he went to the hold already. Okay, so activate the leg before. Very good.
Okay, approach Sky 404 Charlie Alpha on the published miss, Palomar 24 Zulu approach. I don't like how it skipped that missed approach leg.
That's I think it's it was an X-plane bug or something because you did it right. You press suspend, right? It's supposed to sequence. Yeah. So it was just a bug, but you did the right procedure.
I should have caught that though. But here we are now. So let's fly our 90. We're 9.4 from that hold. We can do altitude.
For 404 Charlie Alpha, circle departure, Roger, one able, say intentions.
Sky 404 Charlie Alpha is going to fly on the published hold, and we'll request another approach divert to Ramona once we're ready. 404 Charlie Alpha.
4 Charlie Alpha, Roger.
All right, so Ramona, we'll grab the ATIS now, and we'll let them know.
Conditions clear. Temperature 23. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29902. Arriving and departing runway 27. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact that you have information Delta. Ramona Airport, ATIS information Delta. 1953 Zulu.
And SoCal approach, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha Zulu at Ramona.
November 4 Charlie Alpha, Roger. You said you wanted to do a lap in the hold, right? You're not ready to divert now?
Good.
Yeah, we'll do a quick lap in the hold. We'll let you know what approach we're looking for. 404 Charlie Alpha.
For 4 Charlie Alpha, Roger. Climb and maintain 5,000.
Climb maintain 5,000. 404 Charlie Alpha.
He's thinking ahead. He's making us climb to the minimum vectoring altitude at least, or above it. So it makes his life easy afterwards. Okay, so you're gonna hold now.
5.5 from the hold. We've got that hold on the next leg, which is good. And again, we'll see what the GPS, I'm curious, we'll see what the GPS picks. I'm assuming it's gonna pick a parallel, but it could be a teardrop as well.
That's right, and always center the head and bug in case you need to take over, and things go crazy. And procedure. Okay, so
68 Alpha Sierra, contact Palomar Tower 118.6.
Palomar Tower, 68 Alpha Sierra. I'm going to Lindbergh.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Contact Lindbergh Tower 118.3.
18.3, 68 Alpha Sierra, thank you. Before I go, could I get clearance into the Bravo, landing Lindbergh?
The tower will have that for you.
Roger.
So why is it not? I think it's bugging again. It should be grabbing this. I have vertical speed plus 900. It's stuck at 5.
okay, and for planning purposes, Leo, you're gonna request the VOR DME Alpha into Ramona. Okay, and I'd like you to request it from Julian.
Okay.
Okay.
VOR DME Alpha, Julian. Let me get tower ready for them. 19875.
For 422 Sierra Romeo, contact Oakland Center 125.75.
Put that on standby.
Santa Barbara departure, Cherokee 1411 Delta, 1,400 restricted.
For 1411 Delta, Santa Barbara departure, cancel heading and altitude restrictions.
On nav and altitude, Cherokee 11 Delta.
Yeah, so they're doing a parallel. Cool.
Okay, very good.
Now we're still in the hold, so I don't want to put this flight plan in yet. I don't want to cancel out what's going on here. What I could do is manually put it in the flight plan.
Yeah, you can enter. You can enter. Yeah, you can enter the airport.
SoCal departure 733 Whiskey Tango, 1,200 climbing 3,000.
733 Whiskey Tango, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 6,000.
And at 1.4 for 6,000, 3 Whiskey Tango.
Yeah. Well, I mean, check this out. So this was going to happen. Just wait to do one lap in the hold. Get the clearance. When you get the clearance and everything, inform ATC that you will stay in the hold to set up the avionics, and you'll inform him when you leave the hold.
Okay.
Yeah. No need. I mean, you give your clearance, clear direct, whatever. Tell them we're going to stay in the hold, set up the avionics. We'll let you know when we leave the hold. Take your time, set everything up, and be good to go. All right. Looks like the X-plane G1000 is doing good so far on the hold. No surprises. And what happened to the altitude?
We're going
Whiskey Tango,
five-
climbing 5,000.
Clear direct ocean side,
Okay.
72 Whiskey Tango.
But I'm not a big fan of pitch mode on the climb, but anyways. All right, so yeah, take your time. Once you get the clearance, tell them we're going to set up the avionics.
Wait, what mode is it in the climb?
It's pitch.
Yeah, I think we're getting conflicting. This is why it's not catching my vertical speed. I put it higher so that we could climb at a faster rate, but it's like frozen on 500.
What modes do you see in front of you in the autopilot? Do you see for the climb?
GPS, autopilot, VS plus 700.
Oh yeah, my side is pitch. That's very crazy.
Yeah, that's why it's I think that's why it's bugging itself, but that's okay.
Okay, so far so good.
We're only 300 feet away, anyways.
Yep.
So I'll manually do the OBS for this stuff so that Ramona, VOR Alpha, and SoCal Approach Sky 404 Charlie Alpha is established on the published Missed Palomar. We request the VOR DME Alpha approach into Ramona via Julian with the intent to go Missed as well.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger, climb and maintain 9,000, and you're cleared to the Ramona Airport via direct Julian VOR and then direct.
Climb maintain 9,000, direct Julian, and then direct for the VOR Alpha approach 404 Charlie Alpha. Direct. Proceed return, select approach. VOR DME Alpha.
There you go.
Julian.
And fly course reversal, yes. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just getting back on the heading here. And then activate. Okay, so it's putting us direct to, okay, so that hold is at Julian. All right, so this is actually what we want. So we can hit nav, we're ready for that. We can do vertical speed, do 800. Hopefully this captures it. Actually, we're getting at a higher altitude, so we can do 500. And we can do autopilot on. What mode do you have?
Why don't you try, I see vertical speed right now. Why don't you do flight level change 70 knots?
Okay. Yeah. So we can go, I'm going to turn it off real quick. So that seems to have bugged it when I switch it directly from another. And then flight level change 70 knots. On. Great. So now that should lock on 9,000 when we get there, and we can start briefing as well.
Okay, so my side is showing vertical speed plus 500, but your side's showing flight level change, correct?
Yeah, I have FLC 70 knots.
Okay, I'm gonna activate flight level change on my side and tell me what you see on your side, okay?
Okay.
All right. What do you see now?
Nothing changed.
Oh, cool. Now it's flight level change on my side too. Okay, very good.
Right.
We sorted this out, so that's interesting. All right, very good. So
let me brief.
Yep.
So for this entry, since we're coming from, it looks like the southwest. Let me think here. This is going to be a teardrop. We do have autopilot doing it for us, but we'll be 30 degrees off of that outbound heading. So it looks like 090 about for a minute, and then we turn left to re-intercept 240 inbound.
Okay, that's correct.
7,700 is what we can expect, but we are getting vectors right now. We have Julian tuned in, 114.0. We can start briefing this. I already got the ATIS. We have tower on standby. Circling not applicable north of runway 9 and 27. So this is a circling approach, but we have the intent to go miss, so we won't actually execute the circle.
Okay, let me stop you. Let me stop you there for a second. I would like you to fly this one raw data using the VOR and the DME.
Okay.
Okay, so for practice, so maybe you can tune in.
SoCal approach, Sky 767 Charlie Lima at 2,100 on a published miss from Long Beach. Would like to request a VOR Alpha to Fullerton.
So I can't switch to heading. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so heading mode is on. I'm going to switch my CDI
767 Charlie Lima, SoCal departure. Taking the approach request, and are you ready for that now?
And
we're ready to
we can't center it, but now we have it
proceed
centered.
with the approach VOR Alpha Fullerton.
VOR. So we're 072 direct inbound. We have 9,000 here.
767 Charlie Lima, roger. Turn. Do you want full approach or vectors to final?
Full approach, 7 Charlie Lima.
November 767 Charlie Lima, roger. Clear to the Fullerton Airport via turn left, heading 020. Radar vector, Seal Beach, VOR, maintain 3,000.
Clear to Fullerton Airport via left, 020. Radar vector, Seal Beach, VOR, maintain 3,000, 7 Charlie Lima.
Okay, my question to you, my other question before you continue briefing. The distance you see right now to nav1, which is what, 35.4?
4. Yep.
Is that GPS or DME?
That's GPS.
Okay, so you might want to get the DME too.
We don't have this in our plane, but I can switch over to this. It should be. And
no, it's correct. That's correct. It's already selected to nav1, which is what you want. But to make it appear, not from there.
733 Whiskey Tango, contact SoCal approach 128.1.
Very good.
Alright, so since we'll do it manual on our next vector, which we can expect 7,700 or 8,000, whatever he gives us. I'll start to fly manual. Again, we're gonna fly a teardrop entry. And it looks like it'll be conducted at 7,700 at a 1-minute holding pattern. So we'll fly 1 minute on that, and we can actually bug that now. We'll do 090. We'll get our timer ready, and also while I'm there, I can bug the minimums. The minimums for the circling approach is 2,580. We'll call it 2,600.
Okay.
Keep zooming in by accident. Let me just hold this. Oh, the holding doesn't work for that. Oh. 2,006. Oh. 2,580. We can get that square.
So Charlie May should be on a 020 heading.
Timer is ready.
Roger. We'll go back to 0207 Charlie.
We'll get this ready. Make sure that's viewing appropriately. The hold. So once we conduct that hold and we are established inbound, we fly over Julian again and fly on a 234 approach course. And once we're over the VOR inbound on 234, we descend to 6,700, which is 4 DME from Julian, and that's identified by FXD fix. After 4 DME, we head down to our final approach fix at 5,100, which is 11 DME from Julian, Ritchie fix. And then we descend to Dumby, 3,900, which is 14 DME. And after Dumby, we will fly to our minimums, 2,580, with 1.25 miles statute mile visibility to our missed approach point Mappy, which is 17.3 DME. Our missed approach, climbing right turn to 5,000 via heading 290, and the Papa Golf Yankee Vortac 336 radial to Degley, or the Pogi Vortac 336 radial to Degley, which is 40 DME on that radial, and hold. That hold is going to be a direct entry. What we can do is tune Pogi on 116.45 on standby. And what I'm also going to do is hit heading mode really quick. And bug that
Number
heading
767 Charlie Lima, clear direct Seal Beach, cross Seal Beach at 3000, cleared to VOR Alpha
and what
approach.
we can do is VOR2.
Direct Seal Beach, cross Seal Beach 3000, direct clear VOR Alpha, 7 Charlie Lima.
Great. Back to VOR1. Direct. It wants to work. And then nav.
Okay, so...
Alright, so we've got our second VOR ready on Pogi. We can get that DME ready as well. We have it ready there. Great. That's going to be a GPS DME, but that's okay. We can switch over if we need to.
Okay, 2 questions.
And again, that hold will start at 090 heading. And once we cross that VOR to start that procedure turn, we will turn and then twist that course knob to the inbound course of 240.
Okay,
I
have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 1. On the final approach course, or where, you know, that, the final approach course, if those waypoints were identified by cross radials, what would you do? Would you set the nav2 to that second fix in order to identify those waypoints with the cross radials too, or no? Or you don't need to, as long as you have the DME?
So with GPS, technically I don't need to.
Let's say you don't have GPS. You just have you have DME and you have VOR. Would you use the second fix also to identify those waypoints or not, and why?
I would.
Okay.
I would have that VOR2 set to that radial as well. And as you can see there, we have that blue dashed arrow as well on our CDI. That's our second VOR. I'll track what radial it's showing us from and to and make sure it matches. Along with the DME from it, because it'll have a radial and a DME that it gives us to help identify.
Okay, well, yeah, the answer is correct. You would use that because in case the DME fails, but you don't have DME, obviously, it's GPS distance, but that's fine. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're right. I would use the RMI to bearing 2, in addition to the nav1 CDI, to identify those waypoints in case the DME fails. Very good. My second question to you is the minimum, the 2580. Is that a DA or an MDA?
That's an MDA, a minimum descent altitude. So I can fly down to that altitude, and I can maintain that altitude until I hit the missed approach point. If I do not have my visuals, my 91-175, which is the regulations for the US, if I don't have those in sight by the missed approach point, then I cannot continue, I cannot descend, and I will execute the missed approach.
Okay, I'm just asking about the MDA versus DA. So in that case,
Before Charlie Alpha, cross Julian at 9,000, clear to VOR DME approach.
Cross Julian at 9,000, cleared VOR DME Alpha approach, and 2 Romano, 404 Charlie.
Okay, you fly an Archer in real life, right?
Yes.
If you go down to the MDA and you start executing the missed approach, does it maintain it, or does it sink down about 10 feet or like 5 feet or 10 feet or 20 feet below?
It could, and that's why you have to be careful.
Very good.
Again, you cannot go down. You cannot go. The regulations for the Checkride, the ACS, the Airman Certification Standards, we cannot go below the minimums by a foot. So if it's turbulent, I actually like to give myself a little wiggle room just in case we get those downdrafts to push us below the minimums, just to be careful.
Very
And
good. Very good. That's you answered my question. So instead of 2580 for a single engine piston, usually people do 2600, 2610. And in a big jet, and you're going to be an airline pilot, I'm sure ATP pilot, right? In a big jet, they add 50 feet to the MDA, usually at least.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
because of the big jet, you know, when you go toga or you full throttle, it has about 7-8 seconds to spool up. Aircraft sinks a little bit, so they always to the MDA they add about 50 feet because of that. You know, all these circumstances that could happen that could make them go down a little. So this way they don't bust the MDA. Okay, very good, sir. Very good. Let's continue.
Descending now.
Okay, very good.
So we want to turn, twist, throttle, talk, track, and time. We can start timing. Turn, time, twist. So we can twist to 240. Continue this descent here. While I move my mouse to 240. Throttle to 90 knots. And talk and track. And SoCal Approach Sky 404 Charlie Alpha established on the course reversal inbound VOR Alpha approach.
4 Charlie Alpha, Roger.
That's one of our reporting points. He acknowledged that. We're a little fast. At 1 minute, we will turn inbound to intercept that 240 radial. And that's going to be a left turn.
Number 733 Whiskey Tango, contact SoCal Approach 135.4.
135.4, 3 Whiskey Tango.
Do a standard rate turn while continuing our descent to 7,700. You want to put me in IMC again?
No, it's okay. You can zoom in on the instruments.
Okay.
SoCal Approach 733 Whiskey Tango, 6,000 feet.
733 Whiskey Tango, SoCal Approach. Traffic 1 o'clock, 1 mile southwestbound. Type unknown, altitude indicates 6,600 unverified.
Looking for traffic, 3 Whiskey Tango.
Whiskey Tango, Roger. And advise when you have the weather at Hamet. And if you have an approach request there in the Ontario altimeter 29904.
29904 and stand by for approach request.
Now we know 7,700 is where we want to be at until we are over the VOR. We're on the radial inbound. We have 2.5 miles to go. We can get to that 7,700 foot mark. Once we're over, we're going to twist that again to 234 radial, which is our approach course, and we'll descend to 6,700. We have winds now, so we can start crabbing outbound, as our wind vector says, to re-intercept. We can bug 6,700, and again we'll be moving that to 234. We'll begin that descent, and we will arrest our descent at 6,700, and then we won't continue descending until we're 4 DME from Julian. We're approaching over the Vortac. It is getting sensitive. There's our from flag. We'll start descent now.
404 Charlie Alpha, contact Ramona Tower, good day.
Over to Ramona Tower, 404 Charlie Alpha, good day. $6,700, switch to Ramona Tower. Let's fly the plane first and navigate. What's interesting, even though we're not using GPS, it's still stuck on the hold, but that's okay. I'm not going to focus on that right now.
Okay.
Ramona Tower, Skyhawk 404 Charlie Alpha is on the VOR DME Alpha approach, intent to go missed.
404 Charlie Alpha, Ramona Tower, Roger, circle straight in for runway 27, clear to land, advising you're going missed.
Circle straight in 27, will advise when going missed, 404 Charlie Alpha. Now we're looking for that 4 DME. We want to intercept that radial again.
And if you are in VMC and you're actually going to land, would you go down, what's the airfield touchdown zone? Okay, airfield is 1395, that's 1400. And the minimum is 2580. Okay, yeah, that's more than 1,000 PDGL. That's not bad.
Yeah, if we're VMC though, I know that it's probably good practice to stop that descent at traffic pattern altitude.
Exactly. Okay, very good.
In case there's other traffic.
All right. Did you also you're also aware of the concept of the VDP, right?
The visual descent point?
Okay, that means you know it. Okay, so very good.
Yes, on non-precision approaches, it's at the point where we can begin to descend. I believe it's 100 feet lower.
No, the VDP is a visual descent point, which is on the descent path.
Right.
The continuous descent path at which you commence a missed approach, because continuing to the map afterwards might result in bigger aircraft in an unsafe landing. So usually big jets go missed at the VDP. They never continue to the missed approach point because from there they can't land safely even if they see the runway. But in a single engine piston we can do that. It's no problem.
Yes, that is part of 91175 landing requirements. We need to be able to safely maneuver the aircraft from the approach to touchdown without major deviations. If you can't do that, then you have to go missed.
Yeah, exactly. And it's usually on a 3-degree slope, for example, it's usually the MDH divided by 300 if it's a 3-degree slope. If it's like 3.1 or 3.2, then it would be that MDH divided by that 310 or 320. It gives you the distance in nautical miles from the threshold for that VDP. Very good. We are now inbound Dumby.
Yes, we are 0.8 from it, 0.7 now. We want 14 DME. Dumby we want to cross at 3,900 ideally. After crossing Dumby, we want to descend to our minimums, 2,580 until 17.3 DME, which is our missed approach point. And we just crossed it, so we are actually a little bit high.
200 above.
Pull that throttle back.
Very good. Very good correction.
I'm going to let that nose come down as well so I can increase that descent rate.
Okay.
And we want to get to our minimums now, 2,580. And I'm looking for 17.3 DME. Yeah, some VOR approaches are kind of a chop and drop. I know the one at Oceanside and the one at Palomar and even especially the one at the localizer Delta Gillespie.
I would seriously consider going full flaps right now. Full flaps. You're really high. Yeah.
I think 1 will get us
Alert. Terrain ahead.
Usually we want to do flaps 1.
Yes, but you're 200 feet above, and even with reducing the throttle and pitching down, and I'm assuming if we were in IMC right now, but you can see the runway.
Delivery, Cherokee 123 Romeo
Yes.
Charlie.
Where are we now?
Carlsbad. We have Yankee.
We have 1.4 to go to the missed approach point. We're 300 above minimums.
To the Palomar Airport on departure, flighting 175.
200 feet to minimums.
Victor 23 and then is filed. Maintain 5,000. Approach frequency 128.1. Squawk 7376.
Okay, clear to Carlsbad.
Now we fly this altitude until we can see the runway. If we see it, we can start our circling.
5,000 at 5,000.
Let's pretend we don't, so we fly to the missed approach point and then report missed.
Okay.
123 Romeo Charlie, read correct.
And we'll be climbing right turn to 5,000 via 290. And we'll report missed. Ramona Tower, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha's missed approach. Climbing, flaps reset.
Approach, contact departure 119.6.
Published missed, departure 119.6, 404 Charlie Alpha. Okay, climbing right turn to 290 and up to 5,000. We also want VOR2 in for that radial that we want to intercept, which is the 336 radial we have dialed. Plug our heading, and we'll let them know. Cal approach, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha is on the published missed Ramona VOR Alpha approach.
404 Charlie Alpha, SoCal departure, roger. One able, say intentions.
Cal approach, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha wants to hold as published and eventually divert VFR to Montgomery.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger. Hold south of Eagle as published. Expect further clearance 2130 Zulu. And advise when you're ready to do something different.
Okay, hold south on the missed approach as published. And the 2130 Zulu further clearance, and we'll let you know. 404 Charlie Alpha.
All right, Leo. Good job so far. I'd like you now to cancel IFR and turn right heading 030.
And SoCal approach, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha would like to cancel IFR.
404 Charlie Alpha, IFR cancellation received. And you want to keep advisories in the Montgomery?
Tell negative.
We're okay for advisories. 404 Charlie Alpha.
4 Charlie Alpha, roger. Squawk VFR, frequency change approved.
Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. 404 Charlie Alpha.
Okay, good.
Cal departure, good afternoon. Bonanza 2323 Echo with you.
Change the frequency now. Can talk a little bit. Go.
For 2323 Echo, SoCal departure, radar contact. You should be on a 220 heading. Where are you going?
Sorry about that. Head to that 220.
All right, very good. All right, so go ahead and descend 4,500.
Okay. Montgomery Tower, Sky 404 Charlie Alpha 3000 over Gillespie with Oscar inbound. Request landing.
Go 404 Charlie Alpha, Montgomery Tower, make straight in. Runway 28 right, clear to land.
Straight in, 28 right, clear to land. 404 Charlie Alpha. We can hit flaps 3.
770 Charlie, Santa Barbara clearance delivery, clear to the San Diego Airport, mission 3 departure, captain transition, that is filed. Maintain 3000, expect flight level 210, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 120.5.
500.
Squawk 6464. Okay, November 770 Charlie is clear via mission 3 departure, captain transition, maintain 3000, back 210, 10 minutes after departure, departure frequency 120.55, squawk 6464. 00 Charlie, read back correct?
Montgomery Tower, Skyhawk 404, Charlie Alpha clear to a right out mic, request taxi to Coast Flight at Kilo.
4 Charlie Alpha cross 28 left, then taxi via Golf 1 Hood, all remain this frequency.
Cross 28 left and taxi via Gulf Hotel, remain this frequency.
Approaching runway 10 right.
Clear right.
Entered
clear
runway 10 right. 2.
Okay, throttle 1000. Emergency battery off. Throttle idle. Hold mixture. Mags. Master. Avionics. Lights. Parking brake. Alright.
Okay, very good. All right.
There we are.
My book, I mean, that's a pass. Just have quick things, just quick comments. Just the autopilot use, but I was seeing something different on my side, so I can't really tell what's going on. So that's not shouldn't be an issue, but make it a habit always to center the head and bug. So that's one thing. The missed approach altitude, always set it to right when the vertical guidance is captured. So if it's a glide slope or glide path, so you don't forget later. You kind of messed up a little the holding instructions on the first approach. Remember when he told you hold south on the current track to the station?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you picked the wrong approach in the FMS and you couldn't find Oceanside. I don't think that would be an issue in real life because here you always get the doubt that something is wrong with the sim or the database, right? But in real life, you know right away it's not the right approach because if it's missing ocean, then, you know. But here we always assume, oh, it's a sim issue, it's Navigraph, it's this and that. So I don't think you would encounter this in real life anyway, so it's not an issue. We found the explain bug regarding the AHR's failure. And then, okay, and the last thing, and this is just in general, your DPE, whatever he or she tells you to do, just do it. Even if you think of you learned something better and you know that there's, unless of course they tell you to do something that's going to endanger the safety of, you know, your safety and the aircraft, then yes, you can say no. If anything else that's not going to endanger anything, but it's different from what you used to or what you've been taught, you just do it.
Yes, yes.
You know, on that day, the DPE is God. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they tell you full flaps, yes sir, full flaps. Approach flaps, yes sir, approach flaps. You know what I mean? Whatever they
Mm-hmm.
tell you, don't argue with them. Don't tell them it should be like this versus it should be like that. If they tell you stay in the hold until you set up the avionics, stay in the hold until you set up the avionics. Don't go ahead and just request delay vectors and go with delay vectors, and even though they told you to stay in the hold. For me, of course,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. We're like, but this is just a lesson and also the diplomacy with the examiner who holds your fate in his or her hand, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's not something that's gonna endanger you, yes sir. You know, that day you just want to make that person happy and you just want to pass and get your ticket, right? That's
Right,
the
right.
that's the objective. So that's it. These are my comments. Excellent flying, sir. I'm actually compared to my trainees in real life in Europe, you are really up there. So that's quite impressive. I'm very happy with your hand flying in the sim. You know, you was trying to explain everything step by step. I'm very flexible. I understand people have different operating procedures when it comes to like landing lights and taxi lights, etc. So I don't care that much about that. Also landing checklists and things like that, or call outs during the final approach. I like, for example, my trainees to call 1000 above AGL, 1000 above to call
Mm-hmm.
stabilized or not stabilized, and I discuss with them what stabilized means versus not stabilized. If they're not 1,000 feet AGL, not stabilized, they have to go around. I like them to call
Mm-hmm.
500 to minimum, and then repeat. And when they say 500 to minimum, they say clear to land or negative clearance. So sort of reminder: have they talked to tower or whatever? Have they gotten a landing clearance or not? And of course, the minimum is
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
say continue or go around. So 1,000 above stabilized or 1,000 above not stabilized. 500 to minimum clear to land. 500 to minimum negative clearance, and of course the minimum. Again, these are different operating procedures, different schools, different countries. No big deal. I'm not really picky about that. It's not an issue. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I like any briefing, for example, in my where I come from, we like to do not just the plate. We do something called ANWB. A is aircraft status, and specifically we talk about the fuel status. So if there's any malfunctions of the aircraft and the fuel, N is NOTAMs, if there's any relevant NOTAMs, W is weather, and B
Mm-hmm.
is the briefing plate itself. So for example,
Mm-hmm.
I would say aircraft status is normal. We have sufficient fuel for the task. There are no relevant NOTAMs. Weather is VFR or overcast, blah, 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 but I expect to break out, etc., blah, blah, blah. And then here comes the plate. And when you brief the plate, they start from top to bottom, calling the plate date and model. Date and number or version number, because if you're gonna fly an airliner in the future, you're gonna be first officer flying pilot monitoring. They need to make sure they both have the same chart in front of them, and then they go through the procedure. And then the last thing, obviously, is the missed approach, and then at the end they ask if you have any questions. The ANWB. Other than that, again, these are specific procedures based on different schools, different whatever. But the flying was fantastic. The scanning of the instruments was fantastic. You've done everything excellent. I expect definitely if you perform something like this on the real Checkride day that you're gonna get your ticket. And I'm looking forward to hearing the good news, Leo. And it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Those are definitely great practices. I probably could have implemented more checklist items. That was kind of something I brushed over just doing other things, but no excuse. Some of those procedures you mentioned are, I mean, phenomenal. That fuel check, making sure everyone's the same plates and whatnot is good CRM and definitely what needs to be exercised pretty much every time. So I got no complaints there. That's definitely a good practice. And just want to say thank you so much for doing this. I mean, this was almost a 3 hour flight.
Is it really?
So yeah,
Time just flew by. That's amazing.
yeah, it was like 2 hours, 50 minutes of flight time plus the extra, taxiing, briefing, and all that. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for doing this. This is huge. If you do post this, I'll be looking at this throughout the week to just kind of see how I performed and what things I can improve on for that check ride date.
Outstanding, buddy. All right. Thank you very much. And I'll talk to you later. You have a great day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man. Have a good night, man. Thank you so much again.
Bye bye.